Hi, my name is Yesenia. Welcome to my week 3 presentation for NPA 540, Public Personnel Management, where I will be discussing when compensation causes discontent as people compare themselves with others. So as explained in the textbook Human Resource Management and Public Service, compensation is important because it is what retains existing employees and causes motivation, but it could also cause problems mainly because money is involved. So money, being the most important incentive to workers is the compensation that's discussed in the textbook. So employees want to feel that the amount of work that they do is equivalent to the pay that they're receiving. For the most part, nobody likes to be underpaid for a job that they're doing, especially if others are doing the same work and being paid less than their existing coworkers or even from a different department when they're comparing it. Equity looks into that specifically, which, it explained that it is the balance between contributions and rewards. But as workers begin to compare themselves to their coworkers, similar agencies, or different departments even, it can lead to discontent. As previously explained, part of the compensation system is workers feeling discontent because they tend to compare themselves to other workers. This very thing happened among social workers in the Adult Services Division, a department that I work for, and with the Children's Services Department as well. So both departments occupy the same building, but it is split up into two because one side is for adult services and the other is for children's services. But we both occupy the lunchroom and the restrooms. Um, that's the only thing that we share. Uh, Children's services were always a group that were classified higher, therefore they were paid higher than adult services social workers, and they were given a higher title than the adult services social workers because their line of work was deemed more dangerous and worth a higher pay because of the severity of the cases. Yet the adult services division recently went through a reclassification because social workers from the adult services side did not understand why they were getting paid and classified less than that of children's service social workers when they saw that both types of social workers would complete home visits for adults and children's. They would provide case management services and defuse crisis situations. So social workers in the adult services division were reclassified from social service workers to that of social service practitioners 3 after ride-alongs were completed from workers from the HR department, and they saw that adult services social workers would face serious situations during home visits that were comparable to that of children's service social workers. So the reclassification meant that the adult service division social workers would get an increase in pay because both jobs were seen as equal value, therefore equal pay also had to be applied. This also meant that because both adult services and children's services social workers were, social service practitioners, both could be used interchangeably in the children's services and adult services as well, if the need presented itself. Thank you for watching my presentation on discontent when workers compare themselves with others in the workplace. And I hope that my examples gave some insight to this week's content, and I hope you guys all have a great weekend.